Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. uh, Hello everyone. My name is Fathaini Aisyah, and today I would like to discuss about material in SLA. Uh, the material is talking about input, intake, and output as in second language acquisition. So the first one I wanna discuss based on what I read and based on my point of view about input, intake, and output in SLA. So the first one is input. So the input is like uh, all the language that a learner a learner hear or reads, and it is like it is like the raw material. You need to learn a language or a new language. So think of input as everything you are exposed to when you're trying to pick up a new language. So, and like listening to people talk, the conversation, watching a movie, so the conversation with your family, reading a book, or even hearing someone speak in that language on the street or around around you. So it is the simple explanation about input, and the example about example of that, like if you are learning a new language like English, Spanish, and you should watch a Spanish TV or English shows uh, or villain that use English or Spanish language, or like listen someone speak in Spanish or English, that is called input, because you're hearing the language even if you don't understand everything, but you are the hearers at the time where you're hearing or listened the language itself. So the second one is intake. So basically, intake is like about is the part of input that you actually notice and understand. So you can intake the the input itself, and you are understand about it. So it is like when you catch important words or phrases, and your brain can start to make sense of them. So intake happens when your brain processes and some of the input and start to turn it into something useful for learning. So the intake is the intake itself, why called the part of input, because the input, we are just listen, not understand the what we listen about, but in intake we catch it, and we understand about it. So not all the not all the input becomes intake, because you may not catch everything right. So intake is like something stick, and maybe you learn a new words or understand how a sentence is like generals or structure. So the example is itself, like let's say you are watching some English TV shows or movie and they keep saying hello and every time they meet someone. So after a few times you realize hello means hello and hi or greeting other people that moment when you understand and remember it, and that's intent. So the last one is output. So output it is talk about when you try to speak or write in the new language yourself, and when you learn the new language, this is the practice part where you are using what you learned before. So it is like trying to talk in the language even if you make mistakes. So the more you practice, the better you get at expressing yourself from that you learned before. So basically, example of output, like it is like is after you watching the show or video in English language or the new language and say hello, that is output when you practice this and you are using the language you have learned. So even if you only know a few words or make mistakes, you're still producing the language itself that you learned before. So, like putting it all together, let's imagine you are trying to learn French. So, like the input, you decide to watch a French or the new language that you learn, like cooking video or show on YouTube that speak in French or the new language. So so all the language all the language words or sentences you hear, that's are the that's our input. So in fact, at first you don't understand much, but you keep hearing the word from it. Then after a while, you realize from the context that it is I understand the realize and what uh what it means what it means. So this realization is intake, and you have taken part of the input and learn something from it. And so the last one is output. And later you're talking to friends and you say and practices in your conversation or your daily life or your in your family and around you, and you become naturally and practices and know you are producing the language that is. So maybe that's all from my understanding about input, intake, and output in SLA. Thank you.